going on? Chris DeFranco here for Nerdlocker. I think I was so popular last time I did this for my five favorite horror films. They asked me to come back to do my favorite 5 guilty pleasure horror movies. So here we are, and I'm going to give you my top 5 guilty pleasure horror movies. Now, what this is one of these, the way that I categorize it, is that if I'm flipping through the TV and I come across one of these, I can't help but I have to watch it. I have to, regardless of where it's at, I will watch it the entire way through. My number 5 is The Blob. Not the original Blob, the remake of The Blob, the one with Kevin Dillon and Shawnee Smith. And, as a nice little fact, Bill Moseley of Rob Zombie's House of Thousand Corpses and Halloween and a gaggle of other horror movies actually plays soldier number 2 in The Blob. So keep an eye out for him when next time you watch The Blob. But that is just one of the coolest, funnest little popcorn movies ever. Number 4 on my list is Motel Hell. Now, this flick is one of those came out in 1980. It was meant to be a serious horror film. Who thought it was serious? I have no idea. About a couple that runs a motel and also has a meat smoking business, and they kill people and use the human remains in their meats and their sausages and whatnot. It makes them super popular. You got swingers to show up. They run fake ads to get swingers in there. It's just one of the most ridiculous, fun movies ever. Plus, nothing better than having people buried up to their neck and then running them over to cut their heads off and getting their bodies just right for the smoke. Number 3 for me is House. Now, any movie that has William Katz, the greatest American hero, in it, plus George Wendt and Richard Mole and a handful of other people, is just fantastic. You know, it's also directed by Steve Miner, who directed Friday the 13th Part 2, Friday the 13th Part 3. He's a fantastic director and has gone on to do a ton of different stuff. But House is such a cheeseball, slapstick, scary, funny, rompous craziness through this guy's Vietnam vet world. You know, it just doesn't get much better than that. The characters are just cool. It's just one of those flicks that you just can't turn off once you get started. Number 2 is Tremors. Tremors is a great, cool, fun horror movie, but it's a monster movie. And I mean, Kevin Bacon, Fred Ward, Michael Gross, Reba McEntire, you know, and these, you know, the Burrowers, it's just the Graboids. You know, you go through, it's just, you can't beat it. It's just, you know, Kevin Bacon at his best with that crazy accent. Plus, being that we live in Nevada out here, it's also cool that it takes place in Nevada. So that's a great film. My number 1 guilty pleasure horror movie by far is Dead Alive, Peter Jackson's Dead Alive. Now, you cannot beat the ridiculousness of this movie, and I love the fact that Peter Jackson went on to make the Lord of the Rings trilogy the greatest and biggest grossing series of movies of all time. And this is where he started. I mean, Meet the Feebles, yes, great, but Dead Alive is one of those movies where you got your mama boy whose mother's so overprotective, he falls in love, and then his mother gets bitten by some crazy thing. She becomes a bloodthirsty zombie who wants nothing to do with this girl. She's a harlot, she's a whore, but he's still protecting his mother. And then his mother starts killing people, and more zombies start appearing. And the only way that he can get rid of them is tying a lawnmower on his neck and mowing people down, and blood and nastiness. And there's a happy ending at the end, where boy and girl meet after he comes out of his mother's stomach. After she eats him, it becomes huge. You just can't beat it. It's one of the most disgusting, funny, absurd craziness, and again, it's Peter Jackson. There you have it. There are my top 5 guilty pleasure horror movies. And like I said, they're mine, not yours. You don't like them, oh well.